and it's always around me. It's always people smoking around me. I can't stand it.
Same with me and my mom with cigarettes, at least.
Yeah. Yep. See, a lot of times it skips generations, and that goes for behavioral too.
Well, we're on, guys.
All right.
Another week. Another dollar not being made, at least in this hour.
Don't say that, man. The potential for this hour is very, very high, man.
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna try to change that. Look at the banner below.
That's all it takes is a sponsor too. You know what I'm saying? Dave, he give his
Dave, get some networking out there, Dave.
You give the brand of fruit you eating, you know what I'm saying?
I have nothing to plug here. What was I gonna say? Well, for either one of y'all, it's a new job up at Hot 97. So yeah, y'all can, if y'all want to go to New York.
What is one place I don't combing Ebro's beard or something?
No, what's his name? Patty Fauci or Rauchi, whatever his name is, the dude they found that who killed Yusuf Hawkins, or who's involved in Yusuf Hawkins killing. They fired him.
Oh yeah, I heard a little. You watched that? I haven't watched that. I heard some mention of that. Dallas Penn was mentioning a lot of that on the IG. But yeah, they fired him because they found out that he was connected with the killing 30 years ago. So
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Certain stuff has a statute of limitations and other stuff doesn't. So they say murder doesn't have a statute of limitations, but it's funny with us. With black folk, it seemed like it always end up dying.
Yeah, Rick, you on the rail us already, Rick. I wanted to go into the Jam Master Jay stuff. Rick already on the soapbox.
No, man, I just brought it up because of that, man. Like Dave said that, and it kind of like reminded me. You know what I mean?
But I think a better connect. We'll go into that. But I think a better connection is Jam Master Jay, at least on a positive level.
Okay, bring us up to speed. I definitely heard that there was an acquisition. They found the guy that did it. And
acquisition. I love that term, acquisition.
That's what it be seeming like. When black people actually get a crime solved that is involving murder, it's almost like something huge. Like, wow, they found the dude. Damn.
And you can't even be famous and take that for granted, like especially a rapper. Yeah, that's why I was surprised to me. Like I didn't expect.
I don't never had no rappers like solve mysteries, man.
Yeah, ever. I didn't expect anyone to come out and say that they murdered, and for them to know that who Jam Master Jay who murdered them. But because we know Biggie and Pac's murders are never gonna get solved or never be announced to being solved.
Right,
and there's others too. I think. Well, I don't know if like Big L. Did they know who murdered Big L? Or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's a lot of stories like that, but apparently Jam Master Jay was singing them things. So his story might not have been as complicated as some of the others.
Yeah. Well, see, he wasn't really an artist in motion, like I like to call him. Like Tupac was hot at the time,
right?
Biggie was hot at the time, and I mean seriously hot, not like Run DMC legends hot. You know, the legends after they get a certain amount of accolades, then they're able to sit back and kind of just work at their own pace, and that's kind of what he was doing.
But so you're exactly right, bro. And that's the position he was in at the time. Run DMC didn't have a hit for 8 years at the time, and I think he had some issues with money that was owed him and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he was hitting the freeway, man. And apparently a guy or two who he was going to involve in a deal, he cut him out, and they is
that the Shorty's manager? Because I noticed the piano went off and somebody's screaming. Is that the Shorty's manager?
Yeah, one managing the other, huh?
Right. I don't know which one is the one yelling at this time.
It just all blends in together, huh, bro?
It does. Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't
have some more fruit, Dave. It might let you
enjoy your
clear
walk
it up a little bit.
I got on headphones. I can't really. I'm in a separate room, so we're not in the same room. They're just loud.
Can you hear them through those headphones?
Yeah.
I could imagine. Yeah. I don't
Above
know if they made noise canceling headphones that strong yet.
Right.
They're out of my budget. I'm sure they do, but they're out of my budget. It can't be.
They are. That's them blue ones that he be wearing. That's them blue ones that he wear.
Man,
you got
please.
the Superman headphones. They probably got like an S on the side of them motherfuckers.
And I got these. I don't know where I got them from.
I come here, you got them on, man.
They over here. I don't need them because
Mr. Palmer got you keeping your damn headphones off in a broadcast, brother. I mean, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need them right now. There they go. If you want to see them,
right? Come on, man. That's like Superman leaving without his cape, fam. What you doing?
These ONN. These are not Beats. These are affordable.
They call ONNs.
That's the brand ONN.
Oh man, I have never heard of ONNs.
See, there you go.
I got Sony here and I got a Rode mic.
I got a pair of nose. I can't figure out how to sync them with the computer though.
Oh man,
they'll just run on the Bluetooth or something.
Yeah, I have to sync them with the computer. I normally use it with my phone. I gotta sync them with the computer.
Oh shit, Dave, get that cracking. He gonna leave from in front of the books. He gonna be walking around the house typing on the computer.
You gotta be on the roof or something.
Right. This is the best place I can pick guys. Please just bear with me here.
I'm not in the woods today. Shouldn't have any signal issues.
How did that trip play out, Dave? Did you encounter any interesting locals?
Somebody with a trailer across the road from us had a nice Trump flag. They raised up high.
Sure.
No bears or anything like that. No, it was a good trip.
Whoa, what trip, man? Where do you go? You gotta let us know.
Lake Arrowhead. It's in San Bernardino County.
Oh, okay. What kind? You say raise the flag?
The Trump flag.
The Trump flag.
Oh, a Trump flag.
Was it a MAGA thing or was it like Trump 2020?
Trump 2020.
I didn't know that existed. Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Oh, I've never seen one.
They need 4 more years to finish the job, man.
You got to keep America great, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Keep milking it.
Or in America, one or the other.
Keep milking it is more like it. That's all the dude is doing. He's just buying time, bro. I've never seen this in the presidency ever.
Have you guys watched the RNC campaign or whatever?
Oh, now apparently
it's really interesting.
But what has been interesting about it from your point of view, Dave?
Well, the first time around they had Herschel Walker, Tim Scott, and then they had another senator from Georgia on, so they can have he's not, Trump's not racist.
Yeah. They got to try out the Coon party.
Right.
Yeah.
Coon train.
Coon train. The good old GOC, the good old Coon party.
I said party.
Herschel Walker's disappointing, but not surprising.
Party.
Yeah,
he looks fat and fro and shit. Herschel Walker, man, come on, man.
Look,
go ahead.
Say whatever you want to say about him, but he looks great to almost be 60. I mean, no offense, but dark skinned dudes normally look
in incredible shape. Yeah.
Oh no, Master took good care of him. He good. He all good.
Look, that man Look. For all the light skinned jokes, you dark skinned dudes do not age well. Y'all normally
light folks are pristine.
Like I don't know.
I don't know make it controversial before it's supposed to get controversial in here, man.
I don't know what it is, but I was watching, the last. I was watching the Last Dance, and Jordan's eyes were glowing, and I was like, damn. Like some reason, like when you start hitting the 50 in your 50s, y'all start looking like life has just kicked y'all ass. So like Herschel, I
Mike probably ain't had more than 5 hours of sleep in 30 years, man. Mike is in them as a madman.
Yeah, man. Who can sleep when they got that much damn money?
That's the cost of greatness, man.
Yeah. You just buy it later. You buy hours later.
But now, but he's not doing nothing now. But
drinking.
Yeah, drinking and running through casinos in Havana.
Hell yeah. going through motherfucking cigars like nobody's business. Every time I see a picture of that dude, he got a cigar. I don't care if he's in a bathroom. He could be golfing. He could be at a bar mitzvah.
Cloudy all the time.
What you say?
That's why his eyes be cloudy all the time. He drinking Casamigos.
Drinking that good shit.
Yeah.
And smoking.
Yeah, all the smoke hitting his eyes. That's why he got the cheese eyes.
Cheese eyes?
So he talking about black people age bad. Come on, Kyle. I know you got a list of light-skinned motherfuckers right now. I just know it.
I'm sure we could look at some light-skinned
Look at Lionel Richie, my nigga. Lionel Richie looked like he should have been on Walking Dead like years ago.
But Lionel Richie
dancing on the ceiling.
Listen, but Lionel Richie is 70. That's the difference.
I saw Lionel Richie at 50, my nigga. I got him on age now.
I mean, like I said, Lionel Richie is pushing 70 versus Jordan being 57 and looking like he got jaundice. That's
the fucked up part. He's so rich that we don't know what his medical records are. He might have that, dude. He might.
He could afford
right now. These cats just be dropping dead, man, just because they keep their stuff, private. Like Trump probably got all type of shit going on, man. We don't know jack.
Trump's brother died the other day. His younger brother died, and they won't tell what the cause is.
See, exactly what I'm talking about. Now, how can lightning strike twice? Can we get it to happen one more time? One more time. Not like I want Pence in the motherfucker, but I'm just saying, man.
Damn. Man, he is scary.
Proximity. I think the Trump brother died from proximity to evil. I don't know. But the thing is, Trump is so central to evil,
right? That he's gonna be living longer than everybody. Kind of like
everybody else falls around him, but he stays in the center,
right?
Just being evil.
Like who was the dude on who was the rich ass dude on The Simpsons and shit? Mr. Burns.
Yeah, there was a bit on The Simpsons, but Mr. Burns, doctor. He had like a little door, and he had like these balls, and he tried to push all the balls through the door. The balls were his medical issues. He had so many medical issues that all the balls couldn't get through the door, so none of the medical issues could kill him. I think that's what Trump had.
That's what it is. The dude is so evil that he can't be touched. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh boy.
I don't know whoever is working on that those speechwriters on the RNC campaign. They're good. I don't know who's the guy who wrote for Bush Jr. and Bush Sr. and the Willie the fuck is his name?
Oh, Willie Lynch guy.
The Willie Lynch guy.
Yeah.
Lynch guy. I'm lost.
Who is you?
I need a history.
I'm trying to think of people who have flipped being speechwriters. I know that Ben Stein used to write for Nixon, so he was another one.
Well, they got some good. Speechwriters this time around.
I don't know who exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know who exactly you're talking about.
Lee Atwater. I think his name is Lee Atwater.
Lee Atwater, yeah, okay.
Lee Atwater.
Lee Atwater is a notorious.
They got the ghost of Lee Atwater right in front of them because some of them is hit on because they got Trump Jr. sounding quite articulate and
the fuck out of here
and cogent. Yeah, that's why some people are floating his name for 2024.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Can you believe that, man?
They going hard in the paint.
Just like we had enough of dailies, man. We didn't had enough of Trumps, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
That's how these people.
Come on, man.
That's how
he came back twice, man. He came back twice through his family. That's
why you gotta go. That's why you gotta go vote.
Well, Rookie, there's a T, bro.
What's up now?
You heard Dave. Go out and vote.
Go out and vote.
I heard Dave. Dave know my stance on that.
Because they oh, you on that? Oh, well, then you can't complain when it's 4 more years.
Yes, I can. I'm a black man in America. I definitely can complain.
Yeah, you can complain.
We don't have choices, Dave.
You can complain, but it's not going to do anything unless you plan on getting a passport and going to Canada.
Now, actually, I love to get like other black people that actually feel the same way or notice that.
Quite a few. There's quite a few. I mean? I think that was the
rallying, man. I am, because I don't believe voting right now is the answer. I don't. I think they need to know we are unhappy with the way things are going in America. We see how it's going.
I think they know that. I think they do know that.
They know it, but okay, we just say, all right, let's continue to take the laceration, and instead of like actually having surgery, just put a Band-Aid over the shit. We're just gonna keep doing that. Like, it's wrong, bro. How they're doing this is wrong.
I agree with you on that. Blind faith in voting doesn't work. Faith without works is dead.
But here's the thing. We also got years.
I'll let you get off. But I'm gonna say this: who has gotten anything in America without voting?
Oh man, shit. Every group
besides white men.
Every group, besides white men. Well, white women have.
White women had to get the 19th Amendment to get the vote.
No. Did you say without voting?
Yeah, without voting.
Yeah. What came first? What came first? The women's right to vote or black people? I forget.
Women.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I got to think about it, man.
I understand the frustration exactly, and I was gonna bring up the Ice Cube thing. Did y'all see? I think I sent y'all that on IG.
I feel Ice Cube, man.
Yeah, the statement that he made, I think it was very cogent and impactful. But the issue I have with that way of thinking is, again, if you're second-class citizens, not engaging in the system only makes you more entrenched as second-class citizens.
I agree with that. But you gotta have a notion of what the fuck you want to do after that. Now, my thing is just simply not vote. My thing is to not vote, but also start working on our own shit. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? When I mean our own shit, I mean like what systems work good for us, what people work good for us. You know what I'm saying? If we put ourselves back into the position of voting again, because I don't see it as being permanent. It's a statement at first, and then after that, we're trying to pick up a little momentum. We start seeing who can actually fucking help us in these positions, who we need to put in these positions, and then these become our demands. We got other demands. Cube got them, and he's got a lot of them. But like I said, like you said, like I'm not totally on Cube shit, and you ain't always gonna be totally on somebody's shit just because they're black. But I think it's going in a good direction because it's like, yo, we not feeling this. We got to do a 180, and we got to change shit altogether. Otherwise, it just does not work because it hasn't worked. You know what I'm saying? Only time I remember voting actually worked was when I couldn't vote, and it was like Harold Washington put in office. That was dope.
and that's what I want to get. That's the point that I want to get across, man. We have to, I think more than anything, we have to get people in office at every level of government that reflect our values and that want to push forward the agenda that we have. I think Harold Washington is a good example of that at a city level, how he was able to, as an alderman and later as a mayor, he really reflected the constituency of Black Chicago. And I think we have to do that in every major city, every state, all the way up to the national level. We have to inform ourselves, and we have to cultivate people in politics. We have to engage in the system in that way, but we have to do it from the way of a usurper, of a instigator, like I think actually, even though they don't have legs, and their movement is kind of already crushed, has already lost steam. The Tea Party, I think, is a good example. The Tea Party came along within like a year or two. And it started with some dude just yelling on cable TV or something. I gotta look it up, but it was some dude.
I remember it's stock trading.
You know what I'm saying? They was talking about
York,
if you need a new American Tea Party, and they had their panties in a bunch about Obama and
they were so gung ho, man. They were on that fucking front lawn every day, man.
Yes, they was just a bunch of wild dudes. There was a bunch of trolls, but what they did, they got people into office. They got people who reflected who was really about their shit. They got them in the office in states. They got U.S. representatives. They got senators. There's senators now who are obstructing shit who came about from the Tea Party. But like I said, overall, the movement doesn't have the steam that it once had.
Yeah,
because Trump hijacked the Republican Party. But they got some movement made. And what I'm saying is that black folks, whether you want to call it a people's rights party, a Black Lives Matter party or whatever, people from these movements that we have right now that are in the streets and shit, they got to make that move into the halls of politics. And we gotta prop these people up.
Man. It's a hard thing to do, man, because
it ain't that hard, really, though, man. Like I said, the Tea Party did it in a year or two. It is harder for us because we're black folks. It is harder. But all you got to give money. You got to support these people with money, and
right. And we don't even have reparations. So my thing is, we got to get a lot of shit to happen in a short period of time. And when I say short, I mean 50 to 75 years, less than 100. We got to have certain shit happen on our agenda. Otherwise, we out of it. You know what I'm saying? Claude Anderson.
I don't think that's going to happen in a representative government without
I don't think
having people in that government.
I don't think we need to even fucking worry about them, man. I think we should try more of an annexation type of thing. Like, just look, y'all want to be like this? We're not really involved in this. Okay, y'all can have it. You know what I'm saying? And like, just work on ourselves, man. Work on our unity. That's my thing. I think we need to prepare, because when the minute we get to the point where our shit is solid again, like, let's just say hypothetically, we do get that Tea Party started and it's called whatever it is. You know what I mean? You think it ain't gonna be motherfuckers waiting right there to like sabotage that right when it happened, kind of like Black Wall Street? Oh shit, they're coming up again. We got to do something. They gonna do it every time.
You make the example of Black Wall Street. Yeah, well, I'm saying you make the example of Black Wall Street where you had a solid financial community that was literally bombed to death. So there's always that risk of sabotage where you're talking about the political parties of the 60s being undercut by COINTELPRO. Or you talk about Black Wall Street being bombed to death.
It's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. We got to be ready for it.
I mean, that's the thing. Are we going to be like? Are we just going to not do anything because we're afraid of being retaliated against?
Again, it's not voting. It's not having no action. You don't vote because you're not a part of that system, so you don't fucking recognize it. It's more so trying to get people to jump on board than anything else. You know what I'm saying? That's how the dude he got on camera and he pitched a fit, and usually what happens is you either gain support or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I ain't gaining no fucking support. Every black person that I know think I'm fucking crazy, including my mom. I'm cool with that because that's how I always been. I always been like, look, man, when shit don't work, you can't just keep doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? True. The system is broke. It needs to be it needs to be changed so that it really fits for us. Right now, the stuff we vote for, we think it's benefiting us, but it's benefiting everybody as a whole, which means we still behind like a motherfucker. We need some stuff to actually benefit us, man. Like Kamala can't even fucking say that she's doing something specifically for black folk. And now they calling her black. This lady ain't even black.
But
that's weird.
Dave, I'll let you time to say, but that
Dave, like, this nigga crazy as hell.
that's the thing though. When we invest so much in national presidential politics leans naturally towards a centrist view because they do have to answer and represent on some level the entire nation.
Yeah.
So,
but we definitely fail at a low level too. The fucking I think
but
about
it doesn't
Chicago
have to.
all the time, man.
It doesn't have. It does, but it doesn't have to. And that's why I say, like, if we focus more on political literacy and, you know, like I say, grassroots policy, and get people into alderman seats and state representatives and, you know, attorney generals and shit like that represent us for real, then we can start to mold our communities in better ways.
And that's what we need to work on when we have our time off. Reason why I said time off, because they need to know we're not flowing with this shit. They need to know we don't dig this shit.
But they need to know
that, because if it's not changing shit if we don't stop, bro.
No, we just talked about how evil this mog is, and that's it. I'm not gonna look down the road and say that I didn't vote against. Even it might not have meant shit, but when the time came for me to make my stamp and say I didn't want this motherfucker in office in 16, and I damn sure didn't want him in 20, this motherfucker helped kill thousands of people. 100,000 people died this year who shouldn't have died because of this mob. He's not just evil; he's incompetent. We have to do what we can do to get him out. And it may mean that we just get another incompetent person in office, but that's what it did mean.
You know who the fuck he ran against? That's exactly what was going to happen. We would just be complaining about a different motherfucker, dude. That's what I'm trying to tell you. White supremacy is that type of umbrella where it's just like, as long as you're standing under that umbrella, you're always going to be in the system. You're always going to be, you know, implemented in it. Like, you have to step out from under that umbrella for a little bit to get stronger, bro.
But like I said, what we got these past 4 years is an even deeper. And the thing is, as progressives, we should not be falling backwards. Our plan is to make shit progress. It ain't to fall backwards. We're doing shit now that we did in the fucking 30s and 20s and shit. So exactly. We gotta at least have a pathway. We're always going to be privy to white supremacy.
You ever notice how
pathway to get out that shit?
You ever notice how hard they go on the fucking propaganda when it be horrible shit in black news happening? You ever notice how hard they go in the propaganda? Like when you see all of the deaths that's going on, these cops killing folk. Oh, they be like, what we need to do is vote, and we need to have a hero, and blah, blah, and they playing that fucking dramatic ass music. Dude, come on, man. Like, how many years am I gonna watch that and then watch these people get killed by the cops and then watch the next videos that they drop, which is the police playing with kids? I'm sick of this cycle, man. Nothing ends. You can't end the cycle doing the same shit, bro. That, in fact, that's like it's kind of like roughly the definition of insanity, isn't it? Keep doing the same shit and expect different results. Seriously, bro. Seriously, I'm not saying my way is the best way, but we have to find a way to unplug, man. We got to find a way to unplug. Like, seriously. They got to know that black people ain't rocking. We ain't rocking with that shit. And I really was impressed with the Black Lives Matter movement. I still don't know totally what that shit is about, but I was impressed with how widespread it was. I was impressed with the solidarity. You know what I'm saying? That was some shit I'd never seen. I think that was record breaking too, because it was worldwide, right? That George Floyd protest was worldwide, man.
And Dave, I'm sorry, we gonna get you in, Dave. But the last
day, like whatever. Man.
The last thing I think that is significant, and it is at least on a just a plain observant level. You can't see that more people from outside the black community realize how fucked up shit is, and then at any other point, because even in the 60s, there was a specific type of white person who marched and who was engaged with the civil rights movement. But now,
here's a result from search.
Well, this stupid computer.
Our allies are different now.
But and it's at some point. Like, there's a lot more different people, I'm saying, who are really out there representing right now, and to some point, some people do too much. Like, there was a video today of a bunch of weird kids in Washington jumping down the throat of people eating at a restaurant, and I'm like, you know, that's not the way to go, man. Just because people are eating at a restaurant and not marching with you don't mean that you gotta terrorize them and say that they need to jump out with you. Like, let people live, you know what I mean? Yeah. But but those kids do at least have the energy to be like, black people need more rights in this country, instead of having, back in the day, they may have had the energy, they may have used that energy to lynch black people. So there's less people, or there's less people standing on the sidelines, basically, is what I'm saying, than there's ever been. And that energy, maybe that could be used to make change as well. But
I agree. I agree. But there's also more cameras too, so it's a little bit. It's kind of weird.
That's a good thing and a bad thing as well.
Because I remember Selma, Alabama, being the turning point of the civil rights movement, wasn't it? When they marching on the bridge and stuff, and they actually broadcast that stuff worldwide, and it just changed everybody's minds overnight. And one of the things I'll be trying to let people know is that the media, it changes everything. So whoever controls the media controls everything, and whoever influences kids, whoever influences the youth, pretty much has their shit. They got the whole world in their back pocket at that point, man. So the fact that these kids are pissed off, I don't know why it's not really ringing more bells on their side. You know what I'm saying? On the aggressive side, I don't see why they're not. And I'm like, they know what they want to do. Ultimately, you know what I mean? We don't know what their plan is. But it's just weird, man. It's just weird. That's all I can say.
Come on, Dave. Give us something, Dave.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, back to Rickie's initial, aversion of voting. This year is going to be like, I don't know, man, eating old sushi. You're going to have to just hold your nose and, take one for the team. I mean, I'm not happy to vote for a Biden-Harris ticket either, but I'm going to vote for a Biden-Harris ticket because to Kyle's point is that I don't know how downright evil Trump is, but I do know that he's extremely incompetent, and this is not the time to have an incompetent president. And at least between Biden and Harris, I know at least one of the two of them are competent. So that's the first thing. Second thing, for any, I guess separatist group in Black history of the country, something's always unfortunate happened to them because for some reason and it's not even. And it's not always just because government intervention. I mean, you can watch the movie about John Africa and Philly in the 80s. What is it? Let the Fire Burn. And I mean, it's been a lot of other movements that have met untimely ends for various reasons. So one, I don't think that's I don't think that's going to work. I think Kyle's point about trying to get people who are involved in grassroots politics and and protests, trying to get them in some place in politics probably makes the most sense long term. It will take some grooming, and of course, it'll take money. So those are some things that you just kind of have to factor in. And then three, you can't really compare modern events to, the times of the past. Because, like I mentioned on the text chat earlier, if you just watch, the country, though there's racial polarity still in the country on certain events. If you watched The Storm Over Brooklyn, and that's just 30 years ago, and you can see the country has improved some just as far as being that racially polarized. If you in that movie, Al Sharpton and
Dave, give us. I was gonna say, give us the overall, because Rick, you haven't seen it yet either, right?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but I think we know the story of Yusef Hawkins in the overall, the overall story. But tell us about the project and how it told the story of Yusef Hawkins.
Well, I mean, pretty much it extrapolated on it because there wasn't a whole lot of information that was out there about it outside of the basic details about him and some friends. He took the train to Bensonhurst. They were from East Brooklyn, and to go buy a car from somebody, and they didn't know the neighborhood. And unfortunately, they met a group of Italian youths who had expected a gang of Black youths to come essentially go to a white girl's party. And as a result of the mistaken identity, Yusef Hawkins was shot in the melee. But it also kind of focuses more on the aftermath, essentially by the dozens of marches that were led by Al Sharpton during that period, and over almost a 2-year period, until essentially Joseph Fama was given up, and until the other people who were involved in the murder or the co-conspirators, Keith Mondello and ultimately a half dozen guys, ended up serving time. And then also what ended up coming to light is that they had video from the DJ from Hot 97 who, was involved in the incident, but never came, but it was never known or essentially, or was never brought to light that he was involved. Or he was the same person, essentially. I think he changed his name. So, but I think really the reason why I brought it up is because the racial tension in that movie, you would think like you would think movies like looking at Do the Right Thing, and I've watched it again recently, were somewhat dramatized, over dramatized. But you watch the video from the marches when, Al Sharpton and, the black community from Brooklyn were walking through Bensonhurst, and the tension and the hate was palpable.
Right,
there was no subtle
I've seen that video.
Yeah, there was guys holding up watermelons and, yelling and screaming and telling them to go to F back to Africa and your neighborhood and things like that. And that's just 30 years ago. I mean, so people look at the civil rights movement and they say, oh, those things happened a long time ago. But you have in a lot of communities, especially in East Coast communities, and then even in certain up in Chicago to 25 years ago, you had a lot of areas where you couldn't go and be comfortable. I think one of our future guest, Kyle, kind of talks about that, about not being able to go in certain neighborhoods like Mount Greenwood in Chicago. Just because
it still exists, man.
Yeah. So I mean,
Bridgeport is still a place where I'd be nervous as hell going over there.
No,
they killed one of my classmates over there on some racial shit.
Right.
Yeah. So the thing is, Trump let us know that stuff was like still there, man. Trump let us know that it was still there. It was still rampant. It just, they needed to, know that, oh, we got a leader that lets us do this again. So they just resurface. It's like, oh shit, where'd that come from? You know where it came from.
It activated a lot of stuff, and it's wild because he said plainly like a week or two ago, if it wasn't for Obama, that I wouldn't be in office. Now he tried to say in his twisted, warped thinking, he's trying to get across that Obama was incompetent or unable, or he was a bad enough president that the people reached out to him to save the country. But no, what happened was he was a good enough president to where white people, and a large slice of white, not all white people, but a large enough slice of white people felt that they were losing the country, and in desperation, they reached out to him to regain.
They needed that
control that they want away from the Muslim dictator who they thought was in office.
And they put that branding in motion. All right, because they had them damn red hats.
That's how they branded him. He was the Antichrist, the Muslim Antichrist.
Yeah, you know it. And they were unapologetic about it. It was like, is this real? Is this shit real? That's what I kept saying. I was like,
a lot of he could possibly be from America.
No one's gonna like what I'm about to say, but nobody's bombed more Muslims than Obama. And I mean, the truth is.
Yeah, man.
He's a centrist. I mean, to demonize, a centrist Democrat just kind of just shows how far left or how skewered the perception.
Oh yeah. And how we vote across the board and shit, and how we do that. We do that locally where we vote across the board and everybody's Democrat. Yo, man. Hey, the whole thing needs to get flipped like a fucking pancake. I'm serious.
But here's
that's what I say though. Like. At that level, everything goes to the center, and it's hard to get a true revolutionary. You're not going to get a true revolutionary voice in the highest office in the land. So
he won't live. Listen, he's not going to listen. Even look, I was a Bernie fan. I was a big Bernie fan. It was extremely.
I was too for a while.
But the point that I'm trying to make is that he wouldn't live very long if he made it. I mean, he'd probably end up meeting some type of untimely end. But the point that I'm trying to make is that he wouldn't live very long if he made it. I mean, he'd probably end up meeting some type of untimely end. But I mean, that's just not going to work. I mean, it's just unfortunate the way the country is made. You're not going to
the powers that be don't want that shit.
Right,
they don't want
exactly.
it, and that doesn't make me not want it. That doesn't make me not fight for it. Doesn't make me not want it. Fuck out of here, man.
But this is the point, though, Rook. The point is you have to. Well, I don't say you don't have to. You don't have to toe
the line.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. You don't have to toe the line. I think I think the thing is this. There are times, and I think there are times when if Romney was president, right? If it was somebody or Bush Jr., somebody milk toast, then I say don't. If you don't want to vote, fine. That's really your agenda. But I just think the stakes are so high that you don't vote.
They always say that shit. They always say the stakes are high this year. The stakes are high this time.
Well,
and it's like, you know what? When the stakes were high, we still get fucked in the ass when we voted for these people. That's the consistency I see. Black people getting fucked anyway. You know what I'm saying? How much further have we come from being 3/5 American here or a human? Not much. Not much, bro. We still getting shot by fucking public officials. And they, you know what I'm saying? It's all of these damn double standards, man. I think I'm just fed up with the shit. That's how I am. I'm fed up with it. And I wish I could get other people that's fed up with it too, because I don't think having a toe in that bullshit. I don't think having a toe in that pool is good at all. I to jump out the fucking pool. It is shark infested. You know what I'm saying? Let's get ourselves prepared and then jump back in.
Look, that goes back to what I was saying. When you're talking about police and public safety and stuff like that, a lot of that is done on the state and local level. Right. Like getting a president who like Obama, like I said, we got Obama and what's my man who was Dave, who was the attorney?
Eric Holder.
Eric Holder, yeah. They put heat on a lot of police precincts and departments across the country, and they had I'm just forgetting shit. The Arnold Palmers against him, the consent decrees and stuff like that. Having where police departments had to engage in some sort of interaction with the federal government and promise that they were going to reform in some way. You can do stuff like that, but in the end, these police departments and more so their unions and stuff that are attached to them, they're their own entities, and there's an interaction that goes beyond federal government and federal politics.
Yeah, that blue line of silence. Yeah, it's a lot that goes along with it,
and it intertwines with racism and white supremacy and stuff, and it leads to things like we saw in Kenosha the other day. That's at an essential level that's beyond even presidential politics. Presidential politics is representative in most ways.
Okay, well look. Let's just say I don't rock with voting. Period. All right,
okay.
It ain't just that it's the voting. Yeah,
but at the same time, not voting is what they want. It's what the enemy wants. It's what Donald Trump wants. Donald Trump is on record as saying that when black people didn't come out in 2016, he was happy with that because it meant that he was able to get around the system. He was able to get around the system.
Fuck anything that dude says. Fuck what he says. Fuck what he says. When I'm in a system, man, and I don't see it working, what I do is I get myself away from that shit and I prepare myself. So we don't have nobody in office right now that can really fuck with us as a people because of that checks and balances system. And it's run by all white folk. It's like it's white supremacy. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Right. So y'all are always gonna say, yo, Rook, this can't happen because of this check and this balance. And bro, if we work on our own shit and we see how powerful we are, then we can read reevaluate. But I just think it needs.
Well, we always work on our shit. That's why we still surviving. but we got to thrive too, man. We gotta create these systems. I'm with you on that. We got
the lowest voter turnout was by Asians, and they own everything. They own their shit.
Yeah, and they.
So I'm saying it is largely a fucking like it's an illusion, man. It's an illusion. And we don't even make up that much of the vote. Like it would be more of a statement to say where the fuck are these people than to say, hey, we got the black vote. Then they forget about us again.
I think if the voting gets to a low enough level, they'll just leave us behind. If the black voting
Rookie.
we'll just get left behind. That's in the end, that's what I think will happen.
Rook. If Trump was listen to Kyle's point, voting does matter. Trump is worried about, blacks turnout voting this year, because if he wasn't, there wouldn't be constant, news of voter suppression and black precincts throughout the country. So it does matter. I mean, whether you personally feel that way or not, he's scared. He wouldn't be having Herschel. He wouldn't be pulling out all his African American friends. Right. To speak at the RNC campaign.
That's right.
If Kanye, Kanye wasn't compromised, he'd have had him up there.
Man, I get how propaganda works, man. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it because I know where it comes from.
Of course,
I feel you, but I don't agree.
You're supposed to trust propaganda.
So I don't agree, man. I don't agree.
You're not supposed to trust propaganda.
Sometimes dissension needs to happen in order for shit to move forward in a proper way. And
but I think you're talking more. I think you're talking more apathy, man. I love your energy, man. I love the way you feel. But it's gotta go beyond apathy, and not doing nothing gets nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
I keep telling you, it's not doing anything. We're polishing our guns, man. We're getting guns. We're polishing this not literally, but I'm just saying.
That's just making you ready for the downfall. I mean, that's great. We'll be ready for the downfall. But
okay, so 40 more years of this shit, man. Okay, all right, cool, guys. All right.
I mean, it's defeatist. It's defeatist. However you put it, is defeatist, bro. I mean,
the fetus is I quit and I'm not doing shit. That's the fetus. That's not the fetus. What I just said. I'm saying we work on our shit. That is, I'm very specific about that too.
But if we're already fucked up, we're just making ourselves better able to survive. Everything else is falling out around us. Some leadership has to come in and take some leadership has to come in the vacuum and do something to change.
Yeah, I believe that. I think it needs to be us, our own leadership, not these fucks they putting in front of us to vote from. I mean, they're talking heads.
We're not gonna have our own nation within this nation. Like if you want to talk about shipping out, restarting the Black Star Line and shipping over to Liberia, maybe that's an issue. Maybe that's an option.
That ain't a bad idea either. But I ain't totally Marcus Garvey right now. Like I want to see if they're fucking like.
If we're gonna stay in America, we're either gonna be fucked up within a fucked up, increasingly fucked up nation, and be able to survive that shit because we've survived all the fuck ups before.
Shit, that's where we are now. So
yeah,
all right.
But
I guess we'll stay happy then.
Ain't nobody happy, bro. Ain't nobody happy. Ain't nobody.
They ain't happy, but it's just like, I mean, damn, man, keep doing the same shit. I mean, we're gonna keep eating that. You know what I mean? Period. So we're just gonna keep eating that.
Ain't nobody talking about keep eating. Ain't nobody. We're talking about We're talking about doing something to transform, man. If you don't do nothing.
I just don't have the specific bullet points to make Dave's eyebrows go down. That's all. But I'm telling you,
deserving, man.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And that's probably at least the way my brain works. Yeah, I mean, you can't have a nihilist. I mean, having a nihilist view and not having solutions, whether whether your feelings are valid. I mean, nobody's saying that they're invalid, but you're not providing any solutions. And then, second of all, I think you're also making a fatal flaw that politicians do, and they create. I didn't see the black voting bloc as this monolithic thing, and from what you can kind of see what's going on with the RNC campaign, we're not a monolithic voting bloc. And and unfortunately, a lot of the people who are in the space that feel like you do, I mean, unfortunately, they're spread out. I mean, they're not all in the same area. I mean, especially African American people.
That.
I mean,
African
American people. We're I don't want to say we're a bit of a nomadic tribe, especially since the last recession. We're spread all out over the country. I mean, you're in Vegas. Kyle's in Chicago. I'm here. And, there's a lot of increasingly people are moving away from hubs that used to be considered black communities. So for you to have that, to create that, I don't want to say not compound or wherever you're looking to create, it's going to be a little bit more challenging just based upon black migration in the country. I mean, people go where opportunity is. That's what they made. Yeah, so I think what the things that were done before in the past, they were done because migration patterns were different. I mean, it's a lot of the strong communities, Black Wall Street, is because Oklahoma probably had a larger black community than it does now. What is it? The China, Africa, and Philadelphia, larger black community, and more cohesive black community.
You go to Chicago and Brownsville. What was Brownsville 100 years, not 100, maybe 70, 80 years ago? It was
exactly
a thriving black community.
But one thing we do have to remember, fellas, is the power of media. And we have to keep reminding ourselves that we don't own it. So the little portions that we do own, like what we're doing right here, very fucking valuable. Very valuable. And I would argue that they're invaluable to us specifically. You know what I'm saying? And black people, we got to stop doing that thing where we try to incorporate everybody trying to be on some PR shit. It's a lot of stuff we don't have specifically. So we need to push for it to be a black station or a black radio station or black channel. You know what I mean? We got to push for these things because that affects the what Dave talks about as well. The movements of black people, the migrations and stuff. That kind of added to certain fights and took away from other ones. Yeah. Dude, we can bridge a lot of gaps with media, period.
That's well said.
I've always said that. I've always said that. I will stand by that. Seriously. I'm writing a book on it. So, I mean, I'm passionate about that. But
you got a book
we really embrace it. What's up?
You got a book with blood on it, bro?
Blood on it. Not yet. I ain't beat nobody ass with it yet. Shit.
Nah, that's a spirit of truth reference. That's taking it back.
No, I just like taking shit literal just to kill it.
But no, I'm glad that you brought that up and that you're working on something like that, man. Because I think you're very right. And like what Dave said, we're separated physically, but we don't have to be separated mentally because of social media,
right?
And
exactly.
And the media overall is more democratic than it's ever been, for better or worse. So that's another area where we have to take advantage of the freeing ability to, we could be in a place like China where, and there are people in America that would like it to be like that, where certain sites are blocked off and you only have access to certain apps at a certain time. Like Trump's stupid ass wanted to ban TikTok. I
remember.
TikTok, his moves are so naked, man. It's like you know how this dude moves, man. That almost negates his evil in a certain way. It's because he's so stupid. But anyway, I'm gonna get off it. But all I'm saying is
I ignore the hell out of that guy every day, man. Because
you can't man. All in every day, man. You have to push. That's what kills me about when they cut in with his press conferences and stuff, all his supposed press. Don't show that mug like that, man. You showing up for hours at a time. All he's doing is spitting nonsense and misinformation and stuff at people.
He gotta be killing those speechwriters. Gotta be killing them. They be behind the scenes like, oh, what the fuck did he? What did he say?
Right. It's like we wrote a perfectly good script for him.
Right. What? All he had to do was read the fuck. It's 6 screens in front of you, Mr. Trump. Come on.
Yeah.
That's why you guys.
Go ahead,
That's
Dan.
why you guys need to watch the RNC, because you would think they were talking about a completely different person.
I believe you. I
got it up now.
Look, regardless of how I feel, that is some of the most entertaining shit. Period. Like entertaining, for real. If you can get
detached. They got Melania up there now, looking like Mannequin Part 3. Reading some
I remember
words.
that movie, man.
I know you remember that. That's some good 80s shit.
Well,
right
the 80s, yeah, man. That shit was hilarious, dog. Oh, I gotta watch that movie again.
She probably reading something that Kamala already said last week, but you know,
who's up?
Who's up? We up against, man?
Who did you say is up on the
Melania speaking.
Okay. Yeah,
that's got to be so heart-wrenching to listen to, just like disgusting.
I got it on mute, man. I can't turn.
You can't, right? You have to watch that on mute.
It's great entertainment. That's all I'm going to say. You guys are missing it. It's some great entertainment. It's like watching wrestling. I mean, it's like great.
That's exactly what the fuck it is. Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's like wrestling. Yep.
Wrestling got better writers than this, but
no. The writing is good. Actually, if you listen to a lot of their writing,
I don't know, Dave. I think you're giving them a little bit too much credit.
They go.
What about old girl yesterday who was like, "We're taking back America"?
Who is that?
Which one of her all day online now? Like she's a meme already.
Oh
like
who? God.
Who was
that? A black lady? She's a black lady?
That was a white woman. Yes, I know old girl. She like the head of the RNC or something. But she had her speech yesterday.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was all loud, and then there was because she was speaking like she was in an arena, right? But there's nobody there, so nobody responded to what she said.
Yeah, so it just kind of it's kind of like watching the NBA right now. It's got a fucking arena football feel to it.
Yeah. And that's crazy. The thing. Like, yeah, there's a bad game on now. I would be watching this if the Clippers are blowing out Ballots right now. So
really?
You can't watch the basketball.
That shit is just weird though, man. They got virtual fans in there. Literally, they got like laptops sitting in seats and shit. And
we should get in on that, man. We could all.
I mean, yeah, you got a green screen. Let's do it. Fuck it. Do we have to pay for tickets? I mean,
no, I think you just got to register or something. It's probably a long ass line.
I'll be there like this.
You can put up a sign say "fuck voting."
I like to have fun with shit, man. The voting shit totally different, but I definitely have fun with that NBA shit, dog. If I was a virtual fan, man, I'd be spraying silly string on motherfuckers. Of course, it ain't going on nobody, but I'll just be having fun.
But you really could do that though. They've had like babies sitting there by themselves, just like stuffed animals and stuff.
That is just crazy, man. Oh man,
like a baby just sitting there by himself in the stadium. Like imagine that on some real shit.
Is that necessity meeting creativity in the time of COVID? Is that what it looks like? Because it feels like arena football, G. It feels like the stadium is tinier.
What it reminds me of is the old Mortal Kombat games. Well, like I don't know if you remember. I forgot. I'm drawing a blank on the company that used to do the Mortal Kombat games.
What is it?
Forget.
It was
How do I not know this?
Midway.
Midway. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Midway. Yeah.
Midway. And we used to always have those like weird images in the back of the screen. Like you could if you had
the static images, like it was
right in the back of the screen. Yeah.
Or like a Street Fighter where it's like
some background characters and shit that be like, fight.
Somebody did a bit on that recently. I wish I could I remember who it was, but it was like in Street Fighter, they was fighting in all these regular ass settings. Like you'd be like in an alley,
literally
market, and all of a sudden two ninjas are fighting in the farmer's market.
Like, you walking out of Harold's like, what the fuck?
Y'all walking out of Harold's like, oh,
right.
Are you
right? Knocking your chicken on the floor and shit.
God damn, man.
They pick it up, get some more energy so they can continue fighting.
Right, yeah. They eat the Harold's off the ground.
Yo.
They power bar.
But something else that's real different. Something else. I'm sorry, fellas. This shit really gets me. Something else that's really different is how these dudes keep pulling. They keep pulling from the damn logo. Like I came from the era, man, where you would get benched for like damn near the season doing some dumb shit like that. But this is in the post Curry era, I guess, and it is totally different. Dame be doing it. Dame do it every time he come down. Like it's like they
make that shit.
Right. It is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It's kind of weird looking at the NBA now, man. But I do want it to get back into the regular arenas. This bubble is freaking me out, bro. The bubble it's safe, but it's freaking me out. Then it's like you got people like Russell Westbrook that got diagnosed with COVID and then was playing fucking the next day. I don't get that. Like
they don't announce the players have it until they're about ready to come back. So they've already been quarantined. Usually they've already been quarantined.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
And they announced. Yeah.
All right.
So that's why it would seem like that. But they had to quarantine them already. Then
thank you for clearing that up, Kyle. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. I've liked the games overall, but it is weird. And I mean that's just the situation though. You can't put 20,000 people in an enclosed setting right now as it is. We're already fucking up enough as it is with this stuff. You end up having half a city that messed up with COVID if you had
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. This is weird as fuck, that's all.
And it may be the case next year. They may have to do this next year.
Oh man, hell yeah. We're gonna have 2 years of this shit, at least, I think, because we just haven't done the right things in this time, man. That's why the way I feel, I still wear the mask and shit, man. What's up?
Hey rookie.
What up?
That's why you gotta vote.
You can keep saying that for the next 4 years, bro. I'm gonna be like, all right, my man.
But Trump was like the only dude, and see, this is why, like I say, he's evil too, because he gets nothing but information about that shit. Fauci is there every day telling them what's up, and he goes out and says, "If you wear a mask, you a bitch," and not so many words. And he plays to the worst people in our society.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that.
He constantly plays to the worst people in our society, man. And he engages them and he provokes them. There's so many stupid ass people in our country, and he just plays to them. He emboldens them. He makes them go out and say, if I have to wear a mask, I might as well be in Nazi Germany and all this.
Right, like the most suppressed.
Wear a mask. Think about the person next to you.
The biggest suppressor.
Don't care about other people. These people say that 150,000 people is not a big number to lose. They don't care about people dying. There's so many. I'm saying there's so many stupid, evil people in the society, selfish ass people in this society. And he's activated all of them, man. That's why you got to go.
Hey, that's what's up, yo.
All right, man. That's
you know where the fuck I'm at. So
that's my last rap for the day, man. Y'all want to get off anything? Go ahead. We probably have to wrap up soon, though.
Hey, man, I'm just glad we didn't talk about what I was about to talk about. To talk election was a lot better than to be talking about this bullshit that doesn't happen again. Like,
you talking about what happened the other day?
Yeah, the guy that unfortunately was trying to make up a fight over in Wisconsin, got shot 7 times and is in critical condition.
I felt a certain way about it too, and I mean, what is there anything in particular that you want to say about it? I think if you should.
No, it's just weird. It's just weird that my first show for my podcast, Shoutside, I was working on one for police brutality, specifically, and boom, I can't even get it out, bro. Like I was working on it physically and heard about the looting going on in Chicago, and I was like, shit, do I check up on it and see what that's about? Because I know it's gonna change me creatively in a little bit. Yes. So I kind of say, nah, I'm gonna mention it, but I ain't gonna research it, right?
Are you still putting out the podcast?
Hell yeah. It's like I mean, I'm just saying, anytime it seems like I'm about to turn the corner, then boom, something else happened. Like dude, my man in Wisconsin got it. I was just like, dude, yeah,
it's a kind of a double-edged sword, man. It's being up on things like that and being advocating in the way that you do, like, it's never not going to be relevant, unfortunately, because there's so many people who do that work who feel that it's their duty to maim and murder black people, and it's fucked up, man. And if there's anything that we've got to change in this country, it's that, man. Yes, we got to get these police. And we gotta get these police out of the paint, man. Whether it's, I don't know how we can do it, how exactly we're gonna do it, but they can't be terrorizing us in our neighborhoods like this, man. They just can't.
I like what Dick Gregory said, man, and it might just be one of them shots in the dark too. But he was like, dude, only way you make them accountable is you make them have to insure themselves, or they have to be insured, just like anybody else that works. Like a regular worker, like, you know what I'm saying? You're a taxi cab driver, you pay on your insurance and whatever, and you fuck up, then you lose your shit. You can't do it no more. You lose your license. And if you make them physically accountable for it, then they actually give a fuck. And it has to be money. It has to be money related. But they just got too much power right now.
Rook, I agree with that wholeheartally. I mean, whether it's making them get insured
somehow,
insured or tap the pension or something like that. But no, I do agree. Yeah. The only thing that's going to make a change is if you hit the pocketbook.
Bingo. You shoot somebody, boom, that comes straight out of your fucking pension. Something, I don't know.
But I think, and this goes back to your earlier thoughts. You sort of alluded to some like sort of nationalist thoughts and us building our communities. I think in some ways we have to have a system in place, and there's been some talk about it, like having
policing.
More,
you talking about policing?
Yeah, community policing.
Hell yeah, man.
Or having more people like social workers involved in policing and stuff like that. Like there has to be some sort of major transformation in that way where police aren't being called on brothers just because they raise their voice,
right?
And then they're interacting with a brother who's having a bad day, or who's gotten to it with a woman, or they got into it with some dude up the street, and they carrying some things in them, and then these people come out and they already don't value black lives, they don't value black bodies, and all they see is a mad black person in front of them who they're naturally scared of in some way. And then they feel that all the brother did was walk to his car. He walked to his car, to the driver's side. He was likely going to drive away.
While he diffused an argument before.
Yes.
Like he diffused the situation. So he actually was doing their fucking job.
This bitch ass motherfucker felt, okay, I'm going to shoot him in the back. For what?
That's what I don't get. The back? Like, really?
Right. Why do you have to shoot anybody in the back? You're the only one who have a gun in the situation. Why do you feel the need to shoot a person in the back?
I get so angered at that, man. But I was glad we didn't talk about that. I was glad because man,
I feel you. But I think acknowledging it makes sense though. We had to. And it's ugly. And I want to speak a little bit before we go. Like we talked about the racist legacies of places like Chicago and places in the North, places out. Like so much of the the national legacy of racism gets tied to the South. But King said that Chicago was the most racist place he's ever been.
Bingo.
And Milwaukee has been, I don't know if it's still technically the most segregated place, but it's been described as the most segregated city in America. Kenosha is right between Chicago and Milwaukee. It has people from both those cities in Kenosha. I've stayed in Wisconsin for several years. I've known Kenosha to be, I've never been there really, but I've known it to be, from covering athletes who've come from there and stuff. It's a place like any other in America where the black people who are there are mostly poor and disadvantaged. Mm-hmm. And what we saw the other day was another example of a poor, disadvantaged black person being abused by the law.
Yep.
And we have to almost in some ways depict him not dying as a victory, even though he's probably going to be paralyzed for the rest of his life. And that's disgusting. And that gets at the heart of what's wrong.
I couldn't believe he was still alive. I was happy, but still just, I wasn't real happy because I'm just like, he's fucked up for the rest of his life. He's fucked up, I mean, even if he had superhero type rejuvenation or something, he would still be traumatized. And his kids,
they gotta give him a skeleton like Wolverine, bro.
Yeah, man.
He deserves that shit.
Need an adamantium. We all need adamantium. All of us need it. They did that in front of his kids, man.
Yeah, didn't give a fuck, man. Didn't give a fuck. Man. These people are disgusting that take these jobs. They want to take these jobs so they can terrorize black people, man.
I ain't go. Yep.
Woo.
Yep.
Let's start in on that note, though. Dave, talk about the time you saw Dick Gregory in concert.
I love that guy, man. I miss the hell out of him, man.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't flattering. That's all I can say.
In his latter years, it's definitely been.
How long ago was it? It wasn't that long before he died.
No, it was probably a few years before he died. So 2-3 years before he died. He was off the reservation, and it was a lot of stream of consciousness rants at the Knickerbocker. It was held at the Knickerbocker Hotel. It was in the Gold Coast area. He was just off. I mean, he wasn't cogent, so to speak. I mean, that's something to expect when somebody's old. But it was definitely an interesting experience.
Been pissed for a long time too, boy. That's totally gonna be me. I know it. Yelling incoherent shit.
But see, he was a visionary though, and
he was, man, and nobody fucking listened to his ass.
Right, and that, unfortunately, there's a lot of stories like that through history.
Fuck yeah, it is.
People who were visionaries who lived long enough to become incoherent, and it wasn't through any fault of his own. It
was brilliant, man.
It's just as he had to deal with a society that didn't value his thoughts.
Yep.
For so long, and but he was a great dude, man. I would have
brilliant, man.
I would have loved to see him in his prime.
I'm going to leave you guys with this, but all of the, I guess rhetoric and theory in the world don't mean shit without action. And it doesn't really matter how, and the reason why Trump is so successful at what he does is because he takes action. I mean, it's not the best action, but he takes action.
He got more action than rhetoric.
Right, and that's the whole point. So, you got to have action behind your rhetoric. So you can be behind your rhetoric, behind your anger. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. It ends up being an exercise in futility. You got to have some action behind your rhetoric.
I definitely agree with that, and I've always been about action. I got proof in the pudding, bro. I got proof in the pudding.
I'll say before we go, whether you vote or not, I want people to vote, but I want you to vote on your own discretion. And if you don't feel that voting makes any sense for you, then don't do it. But educate yourself regardless. Keep yourself educated, and don't don't just fall victim to miseducation and
That part.
and what, because that's what they want from. They want you to be dumb, deaf, and blind, man. That's what these people want. That's what the enemy wants. Don't allow yourself to be that. Rookie's my man. I don't necessarily agree with his stance 100%, but he's definitely not dumb, deaf, and blind. So that's why I can rock with him. So don't be dumb, deaf, and blind, or else I'm gonna have to roast you.
He brought me up on that damn show because of the film. Remember that I was trying to bring out?
Yeah, and I had to honor that, man.
That's a part of my action, man. Like, I believe in media, so even when I'm broke and can't bring it out, I'm gonna still try, and that's what I've always tried to do. And thank you guys for letting me be a part of this, because I see it as just, just another avenue in which we can get this shit out. And man, it ain't never a show where everybody agrees with each other. That's what makes it a show,
Right.
like especially the sports ones. So it's an honor, gentlemen. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and we, like I said, we gonna keep doing this every week, man. In the building, we building with each other, and hopefully, we'll get some more guests on soon and build with them as well. But we definitely gonna keep building with each other every week.
Yes,
every
sir.
Tuesday, we'll get together and keep doing it on YouTube, and later you can hear us on Anchor. You see, you want to support us, man? Throw us some ducats, man. We can make this even better and do things that help support us, support a black business.
It's scrolling
Some of y'all are better at that than others.
Scrolling right at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't no reason to be dumb about that. So, check us out. Check out anchor.fm/regal-radio for all our other shows and all our other ways you can support us and follow us. WeAreRegalRadio.com, our writing, all our stuff going back for years, even stuff that Dave has written. He hasn't written in a while, but he's written some great stuff for us in the past. And even as Rook has too. Rook has been published on our site. So, there's all time. I see stuff that y'all written pop up every now and then and on our views, and that makes me happy, because stuff that y'all written like 5, 6, 7 years ago, people still read it.
And Kyrie, y'all know how to pick them, bro. Y'all know how to pick them. That's all I can say. Because everybody you work with and associate with has always been solid and some good dudes, man. That's what I can say about you and your whole umbrella. Fucking awesome. I
appreciate that, man. We try, man. We, like I said, all I'm about is entertaining and educating, man. If I can't do one or the other, then I can't do it. So we gonna keep rocking, man, like we do, and having fun. And if the world gonna burn, we at least gonna take a smoke and laugh at that shit while it burns.
Brother, you better get some more honor Palmer for this.
I gotta go. I gotta make a run.
Don't call me though. Don't call me. I don't need you. Reggae. That's what's happening. I don't want no updates. I already see it.
Like I said, we'll do the updates every Tuesday, man.
Yeah,
with
man.
More Arnold Willis Palmer.
Hey, Dave, we do age good. Fuck out of here, dog.
Right. You don't really get
outnumbered on it. Speaking of votes, you are outvoted on here, man.
You really gonna get on the original man, bro. The Asiatic man talking about we don't age well.
How could he do that? I'm man? Sorry. Blacker than berry, sweeter than juice. We got infinite rhymes about us, bro.
Yeah. See, he ain't got nothing, man.
They got memes. Remember, they be like white, light skinned brothers be like ... That's what they got. That's about as famous as
we ain't going back to that, man. That's the more antebellum thinking, man.
I know. That's that colorism bullshit, but it's so hilarious to bring up at barbecues, man.
all I can say is I got two sides of the family. I got the light skinned side of the family, I got the dark skinned side of the family. For whatever reason, the light skinned side of the family seemed to fare a little bit better.
I think you're biased, bro.
I know what you're talking about too. That ain't right, man.
Oh damn!
Dave, yeah, all the crazy in Dave's side is dark skinned.
My Well, going there. My mom is older than my dad. You will never know. So yeah, I don't know. The Darts, for whatever reason, something happens. When the older you guys get.
Too much fun. Too much fun.
I know it's too much Arnold Willis Palmer and cigars.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. Man. That's I'm getting the Rick James that's true.
Yeah, man, don't get rid of that. Don't you get rid of that damn cup of yours, boy. Don't get rid of that damn cup.
Oh no, I'm gonna
listen to it, boy.
I'm gonna just wash it out and refill it for next week.
You're gonna be looking like Michael Jordan in Last Dance come next year.
What, rich nigga? I hope so.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna have my extra long cigar, man. I'm gonna be like, and then it got. I'll be like. Motherfucker talk shit about me off the court, man. Then I had to drop 50 on his ass. That's what I'm gonna be like.
Right. Oh man,
Michael,
they doing the
talk about that next week, man.
You know they doing the Last Dance radio though. So
yeah,
a lot of the stuff that wasn't covered. Yep.
Yeah. Have you gotten through the whole show, Dave?
I got 2 episodes left.
If finish it off.
What are you waiting on, Dave? Get that done. Get it in, man.
Well, he didn't watch it when it came on first. He's watching on.
I get that shit. It's late as hell. Come on, Dave. 2 more. Get in there.
We'll talk about it next week, though.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna see y'all off, man. Let's have a good week, y'all, man, and stay safe out there.
All right, brothers.
Yeah. Likewise. All right. Peace.